Sometimes reality is stranger than fiction. My father used to say this to me. He was a cop of Eddington for most of his life, and he was well respected in the town. He has worked a number of cases ranging from missing person to violent murders. Very few cases were solved, and as we know today, most cases remains cold for many reasons. But one case stood out to be weird, strange, uncircumstantial to my father. To know what was so strange about this case that my father keeps remembering and keeps on telling to every people he meets. You need to know about my great grandfather. My great grandfather was also a cop of this town. He was brave, bold, he fought against criminals and was never corrupted. He was clean, and this was the reason my great grandmother fell for him, and also why my father looked up at him as a hero. Anyway, that's a different story. When my great grandfather, Benjamin, was just 21 years old, he was a fresh lad in the police academy. He was asked to assist a case, a possible murder case that had occurred in Pipe Hayes Park. This took place in the year May 27, 1817. When Benjamin reached the crime scene, he found a woman's body that was lying in the muddy pool. Her name was Mary Ashford. She was bruised everywhere and there was strangulation mark on her neck. Being first case for Benjamin, he was shocked at the sight and anger started to build in his throat. Nearby there was a footsteps of a person which was sunk in the mud. Judging by the depth, it belonged to a man. Later, the body was taken for autopsy, and the reports revealed she was sexually assaulted before being killed. This upset Benjamin so much that he stayed up all night for many days, trying to solve the case and catch that bastard who did this. He described it as a turning point of his life. Poor Benjamin. He tried and tried and tried. He questioned Mary's family and friends, her acquaintances, and even the people who worked as watchmen in the park, but nothing to avail. Then, when investigating earlier footsteps of Mary before the night of murder revealed she went to a bar for night out. There she danced with Abraham Thornton, and also the last person to see her alive. Benjamin brought him for questioning. Mr. Thornton said that he definitely had sex with Mary's consent, but did not admit to raping and murdering her. When asked why he didn't help the cops earlier in investigation, he told that he was scared, feared that he would be marked as a primary suspect. That's it. Benjamin could only bring out few suspects in before dismissing them either for having lack of evidence or the presence of alibi during the night of the murder. On the outside this looked like a gruesome case, but there is more to it. Fast forward to 157 years, my father Frank started serving his duty. On an ill-fated day, he received a dispatch during one of his patrol. He was said to arrive at the crime scene that had happened previous night. Guess which place? Pipe Hayes Park. When my father arrived to the place, he was reported that a woman called by the name Barbara Forrest was killed during on her way back home. When my father saw the body and the way it was placed, he had a sense of deja vu. He thought something was wrong here, like everything was repeating here. My great grandfather told my father about the Mary Ashford's case previously, and this stuck in his mind for many years. Now he is witnessing the scene again with a different person. At postmortem lab, he awaited for the report on what really happened to Barbara and prayed to God not to hear the worst part. Finally, the report came, and there it was. She was raped and strangled to death. He almost fell down hearing this. Back at Frank's desk, he started listing down who were about to be a primary suspect. He listed her family members, friends, colleagues, and many people she interacted with. When he started looking at the names one by one, a particular name shocked him. It was Michael Land Thornton. Even Mary's primary suspect had fell upon a man whose last name ended with Thornton. He took over the case file of Mary Ashford from one of the old drawers. There it was lying in a pile of cold cases. He dusted off the hard bind with one swipe of his hand. There stood in bold letters the date the murder was committed, May 27th, 1817. Seeing this, he remembered something and checked the calendar. It was the year 1974, May 27th. Seeing this, he dropped the file and stepped back a little to grasp the situation he is in. Later on, the police questioned Michael Lann Thornton, her boyfriend. There he revealed that they went for a dance the previous night and the last time he saw was around 1 am. Before bidding goodbye, and he pleaded nothing to do with the murder. I still clearly remember the day my father told me the surprising facts at how both cases related to one another. Both women were 20 years old, found sexually assaulted and strangled in the same park. Last person to see them had a similar last names, Thornton. Both went to the dance bar the previous night and their bodies were found on the date of May 27th. Before their death, both the women had bad feelings about the coming week and predicted their end time. One of the saddest similarities is the case remained cold to this day, and their murderers are still roaming free in hell.